Yeah, it's going on. So do you want to just put it here? Make sure it's working. Yeah. Okay.
So you need the money. It's good not to see close. I did that. We got a little quiet.
Right? What reason would I do everything? They tell me. Absolutely. I would. I would like great. O sea, yo también.
Just for the request, so keep this attention in one space. I'm going to just be the middle packet. Really appreciate it. Yeah, please, please.
I just wanted you to vote for it. I just wanted to make you.
Trust me, you do not want to do it.
What? Maybe you know it. That's great. She made hello. Hi. You're my Rochelle dish. I'm a brother. I'm Rachel. I sit across the table from you. Yeah, yes.
I can't hear.
This is I wanted to go, but they like 30
Sorry.
Why don't you go in? I'm just suffer for this. I like the spot. I like the oh my God, that's great. Yeah, but even when I was they went somewhere, they went to the north. They did like so that's the thing. So they went somewhere that was safe north of the lower. Yeah, I mean, they have high to modify there. But obviously it's not happening, but sounds like a very, yeah, it's also very, it's really, really great. Yeah, it does. And then complete. Discover, learn about the land along the way, rather than told us like entires of it's like helping the learning experience. So Ella prefers it. She prefers my travel. Thank you. There's a white infrastructure to our process. They dock together on like yeah.
You're young. She's young.
But I
You're
did.
really young.
I have to try.
You're our age. You'd be exhausted.
What's the most interesting?
Don't you have time? We tend to. We have trouble with
Connie, do you have the video you want to? You have the video you want to show? Oh, we have it.
She told me like a few days later, she was laughing at me. Yeah, it's a collapse and like,
yeah.
at the beginning. So that's on my car, so it was like,
You need room.
let me get in. It was, all I needed was a whole production. So so embarrassing. Yeah, I'm just making a side dish. Yeah. Why did you film last night? I wasn't. I didn't really know about it, but I need other things to do. That's good. That's good. Now that he's like eight,
Bring wine. They could be free. You never know.
I got to like read this questions.
Yes, everyone to please rise. We're going to take a vote.
Sophia, od
Shaberach for Chayalei Tzahal and for the Shvuim. Yishaberach Avotenu Abraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Yosef Moshe v'Aharon David u'Shlomo v'Yivarech v'Yishmor v'Yinsor et Achenu Beit Yisrael HaShvuyim ba'abur shalom mitpalalim ba'avuram HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yimalei Rachamim Alehem Yishmerem Mikol Tzara v'Tzukah Mikol Nego Machala v'Yishlach Bracha v'Hatzlacha b'Chol Ma'aseh Yedehem Yotzieim Mechoshech v'Tzalmaves. Release them from darkness and death. And may they be returned speedily to their families and to their homes. Amen. Everyone, please be seated. So it's almost as if we're going in reverse. Singing the tefillah for Shlom Chayalei Tzahal, for our Chayalim and Chayalot who are now in Gaza, whatever is going on, depending on whatever we're hearing. They've been in Gaza, they will be in Gaza, God willing, until the mission is complete. Well, they were activated because we got to the Mishaberach Lashvuyim, because of the cowardly abduction of women, of men, of children, of babies, of the elderly. So we davened for them, for Chaylei Tzahal. We davened for the captives. But who was there before them? Who was saying the Kelmale Rachamim, seeing things that no one can imagine? Holocaust-like images, perhaps worse, as you'll hear from Yossi. I remember hearing Yossi was on I-24. You were in your car. You had just come back. Right when you came back. You remember? We did a Zoom interview. The look on his face, the horror, but at the same time, the incredible dedication, the incredible Ahavas Yisrael, the incredible kavod that he held and holds for every single human being, for every Jew. A walking, talking Kiddush Hashem, him and all of his fellow colleagues, heroes of Zaka. Proud here in the community as our first tranche of tzedakah that we gave, insisted Zaka has to be a part of it. It was so clear, the incredible work that they're doing in the most horrific of circumstances. And it's an absolute honor, it's a kavod, it's a zechus, it's a privilege to have you here with us, to share your story, to inspire, and Yirtzeh Hashem, that we, the Jewish people, should never have to endure this again, but knowing that you're there, with your chevra, with your teams, it gives us the greatest nechama in the world. Everyone, please rise. Yossi Landau.
Good evening. Thank you for your support. Also want to welcome my uncle, Yankee. He's in our team, and he was there. Came 2 days later, but he was there. He came special to help us as a volunteer. And you all know the difficulties that we have personally, and I would say colleagues of the nation. And for sure, my team, Zaka, give a little bit description what Zaka is. Zaka was founded 33 years ago when a bus that came from Tel Aviv to Yerushalayim was flipped over on road number 1. Arab terrorist just with his steering wheel, and he flipped over that bus. 17 people were killed, 40 people were injured. The bus went on fire. You couldn't identify bodies. There was no team in Israel those days that only the army that would do it. And when we came in, they said a soldier is much easier than a civilian because they have all this identification, a civilian, and then we decided that we are opening this organization First it was called Chesed Shel Emet. Chesed Shel Emet, we all know why it's called Chesed Shel Emet. You're not getting back anything. They can't even thank you. And then we called it Zaka. After that, that's the definition. Zihui korbanot asod, identifying every unnatural death. And then the Intifada started. Second Intifada, farming, buses, restaurants all over, hotels were all over the world. We were in Turkey when it was bombing the synagogue over there. We were in Bulgaria, where there's a bus would park for 15 years ago. This week we're in Mumbai, in India. The big attack at the Chabad house, we were there. Wherever there is a Jew, and not only Jews, we will be there to help and to respect what's left over. That's the families. They have to know that the beloved ones were respected. That's what we're going to do. That's our mission. Zaka is, I will say, it's a different Zaka till October 7th and after October 7th. Before October 7th, yes, we dealt with all kind of accidents, everything, bombing, people, all kind of disasters. Took us an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. We would say, we'll go home, we'll speak with can't go home and speak with the children and the wife, but we'll speak with us together. We'll have specialists come over to us and speak. Like that, we can raise our families. October 7th made a difference. And that was, you all know, 6:30 in the morning, and everybody's in bed, trying to join the family. It was a Yom Chag, Simchat Torah, Shabbat. Everybody's with the family, the kids, preparing to go to shul, dance with the Torah, like every other. And then when the siren went up, I live in Ashdod, I would say. I have a father of 10 children, a grandfather of 22 children. I have a business and making a living, Baruch Hashem, and enjoying the family. And we used to missile attacks. We know the shelter, everybody knows what it has to do, going into the shelter. I don't know where the shelter is. First thing we got the alarm. Iron Dome is right at the back of my house. When we see the Iron Dome going up and hitting the missiles, and I go down to be on alert, to see if a missile fell, somebody got injured, something happened. And thank God we don't get it. We saw there was like we say, en filah, nothing fell, nothing wasn't hit, all was. Then I start to get my radio, different, that it's only a cover-up for the invasion of terrorists came into certain cities, certain places. I'm in touch with the army, with the police, and they told me, be ready. It was chaos. Nobody knew anything. We just knew that there is a terror attack in some places. I wait for a call. Meanwhile, we go in shul at 10 o'clock in the morning. The chief calls me on my phone. I was in shul. My wife, children, everybody calls me up. Yossi, get into your car. Take how much body bags you can and equipment, and just come to Sderot. I call up 2 of my volunteers and I told them, listen, wait me downstairs, pick you up. I met my son. I told him, tell for mommy they should continue with everything. I don't know when I'm going to be back. I have to run. Took my bulletproof vest, my helmet, and going to the car while driving on road number 4, going through south. When I arrived to Yad Mordechai, Zikim, there was a roadblock, and they saw me, okay, started past that roadblock. I saw the darkness, I saw bodies. I have to maneuver my car between the bodies. I don't know if it was terrorist at that time, if it was civilian, and soldiers all over shooting top of my car, gunfire, and they told me just run, go. Start to drive through Sderot. Arrived to Sderot. First thing what we have to do is to try to save people. That's our first mission. We have to save, and we looked around. Cars in the middle, people, tons of blood, people lying on the street, people in the car, half in the car. What's going on? First thing you decide, just put your blockage. That's what we were taught. Block your thoughts. You're just going to work. And Baruch Hashem, we found a couple of people that we saved them. We are 95% of our volunteers are EMTs, so we know a little bit what to do. They were all had gunshots, bleeding. We had to stop the bleeding, and we're going to take. There's no ambulances because there's so much. Just put them in my car, brought them to the entrance of Sderot. They opened up like a hospital, field hospital. Dropped them, went back. In the meanwhile, shooting, terrorists running around, police are special forces running after them. We had to use our guns. We all have guns. We have to use our guns because, unfortunately, we're a part of the team. And then we started to go and to take the casualties. See, we started opening up bags. 1, 2, 3. We're going to put them. I saw a truck parked, broke the lock of the truck. This is going to be our warehouse. Put the bodies inside, 10 bodies, 20 bodies, 30 bodies. Doesn't stop. We were fighting. They were covering us, the police, the army, they were covering us. We shouldn't get shot. and every other minute you have to lie down on the floor because the rockets on top of you. But said, we're doing it. Then we had a situation, the police department, that they had the hostages, they held the hostages. We couldn't get close. The tank, it's the first time in history where a tank goes into a city in Israel. No choice. In order to fight, to take down that building, the 25 hostages, 25 terrorists with ammunition that used for army that they brought over there. And there was unfortunately 8 policemen that I knew them. I knew them very well because I'm in charge of the South region and they belong to my region over there, to my district. And I knew them well. They were heroes. They fought to the last bullet. We saw that. But unfortunately, 8 policemen over there in that station that we had to pull out. Dead. Then we went out to so we said, okay, meanwhile we're calling in for more members, more volunteers from all over the country they came. And we said, okay, this is level 1. We know this, we know to deal with gunshots, we know to deal terrorist attacks. Nothing major that could disturb our mind or something like that. The only thing that bothered us was the quantity. This was something never in my life I could imagine that I will be loading up truckloads of bodies. We went out to the road, it's called Road 34. Takes you into the Road 232 to the Kibbutzim, to Gaza. It's a period of normal driving, about 12 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes. It took us 7 hours to go that road, only to pick up bodies and bodies and bodies. There were bodies that couldn't get over there because they were burned cars. And till now, there's no identification because they were burned completely. And like we go groups, everybody has this group putting in body, the truck is behind us, putting on the truck, that's the way we go. We were going to, that's level 2, I would say, because 80% of those victims were shot in the back. Innocent people that were shot in the back, and some of them multiple gunshots, so you have to treat them different. No one was alive over there. Then we arrived to Re'im festival. The army came to us and said, guys, we want you to do the job, but we can't give it to you because for your safety, because there's still terrorists hiding, and also there will be missiles, anti-tank missiles from Gaza. It's very close. And also, it's very dangerous. And also, they told us that they have intelligence that should be another invasion by sunrise. It should be another invasion. It's very dangerous. We begged them because we know the circumstances, what happens with the bodies afterwards. They gave us, it was 12:30 in the night when we spoke to them. We started, or they told us up to 4:30 we give you. 4:30, no one is here. where I start, 4:30. At 4:20, ladies and gentlemen, we packed up, to use this word, packed up. It's very difficult, unfortunately, but this is the 207 bodies from 1 o'clock to 4:20. We finished. It was an impossible mission, but we did it. Not thinking, I looked in the eyes of the volunteers. There were like fire in the eyes that we have to respect. We have to make sure to respect our brothers and sisters. And that was the fire. They didn't look. They worked so hard. I was a part of that team. We worked so hard that level 3, that was level 3. Never do. I have trucks in my company, called up my guys, my drivers, just bring the trucks, we loaded, because we didn't have, it was all, our organization has 1 truck that we used, and it was full already from Sderot. I sent 1 truck to Ofakim, loaded up over there 34 bodies, police, civilians, everything. Not a terrorist for now, and I'll come to that. And then I brought him over there to Rahim, to the festival. Every truck had between 70 and 80 bodies. When we finished loading and we just sat over there, we were standing and saying Kaddish. And we talked about volunteers that they saw everything in the life. We thought so. They were crying. Couldn't. It was impossible. How could it happen? How did it happen? How? What's going on over here? We having over 200 bodies in one spot, wherever we went. In the toilet, in the shelter room. There was a shelter room over there. 21 people were burned alive. They were all together. We had to send a special crew over there just to separate them. Took about 3 hours working. 40 of our volunteers worked on them only. And with the respect to make sure that they should be identified and they should get the Kever Yisrael like we know, like we have to do it. But we'd say, okay, this is what it is. Let's hope this is the final. The army came over to me and they told me I'm the commander, so we have another couple of them. So they came over. They told me, taking you now to the area. Kibbutz Be'eri. You have to prepare your group. Not sure you'll be able to do that. Okay, what could it be? Arrived to Be'eri, made sure, and there's still terrorists hiding and shooting and hostages. They had like a lunchroom. They had 50 hostages over there, held 50 hostages. And everything was bombs, hand grenades all over. And we had to watch. We shouldn't get hurt. And the army, they would have a special team, it's called SAP, to remove all the bombs. They go in first, make sure that the house is not trapped or something like that. And then we can go in and start handling the bodies. house number 612. That's the first house in front of the gate. When we went in, we saw full of the entire house, holes and gunshots. Just open. The door was open, and I saw just the blood. Well, okay, so we have a body over here. I went into that house first. I had my group that every house, 6 people that was supposed to be. And 42 in my group. And I went in first to see what exactly, how much I need, what do we have to do over here. I come into that house, and the boot, we had special boots. I would say I just stepped in a puddle of blood. Said, okay, over here, it must be more than one body. I looked in the dining room. I'm sorry, it's going to be very hard, but something that I have to tell you, I'm sure there's people, there are Holocaust parents or something, Holocaust survivors, and they know a little bit what the Jewish nation went through. And I met a 92-year-old Holocaust survivor, and I showed them a little bit of my pictures, and I told him exactly what we saw. He started to cry and said, Yossi, this wasn't the Holocaust, it's much worse. So I'm going to tell you, I saw the dining room, beautiful house. Whoever knows Kibbutz Be'eri is one of the nicest places, was one of the nicest places in Israel. Nicest kibbutzim was Gan Eden, they called it. It's beautiful. Everybody had their own house. And you see on the side, by the wall, in the dining room, father and mother, hands tied to the back. They were on the knees, head down, and you see a gunshot in the back of the head. And then you look, you see on the other side, exactly against them, there's 2 children, same position, hands tied to the back. Okay. I called in one of my guys and told him I'll be held before the entire team comes, because I want to see. It took only the father, picked him up. Then I said, okay. I went out, I need a double team, 12 people over here. 6 is not enough. I told him we're going into a spooky house. It's very frightening, and whoever can do it should tell me now, and I'll release them. No, they're all heroes. You can do everything, no problem. Come in, and we start, take turns, they all 12, talking about 12 people. They said, Yossi, goodbye. We can't do it. It's impossible for us. Told them, this is our mission. Now, the father was missing an eye. The mother was missing a breast. children, the boy was missing the fingers. The girl was missing the foot. That's what they were doing, and while they were doing it, they were eating a meal of this family on the table. They were eating a meal of those terrorists. You start thinking, did the father, mother see what was done to the children? Did the children see what was done? And then you look at them and you get the full story. Because I thought that something happened to me that I got crazy. But then I heard it from all the volunteers that those victims, it's like the first time they were talking to us, they were telling the stories, and this is what happened. They were torturing us, yes, while we saw each other, and then they were shot in the back. I took my volunteers, I tell them, everybody's sitting now on the floor, in the puddle of blood, you're gonna sit. And let's do a round. Start to sing. Song, Avinu Malkeinu, Vihi Sha'amda, Lavoteinu Lelanu, some hope songs. And I saw the faith is coming back and the courage that we'll be able to go. And I pulled out my knife and I just went to the hands of the victims, cut the strings that were tied. I asked from my volunteers, let's hold their hands and let's make a promise. We will not leave this place and other places. Only everybody, every victim is identified and came to burial. That's our promise. That's for Klal Yisrael. We did the promise. They asked me, favor, the volunteers, we want to take home the suits, the white suits that were soaked with blood of these victims. We want to take it home. And we want to be buried with us after we pass away. It should be a sign what we did. Well, it's not allowed. Maybe everybody see. Shem sees this. He saw everything what you're doing, and you're gonna get paid when you're gonna get over there. You don't have to take it alone. This is not a sign that you have to take it alone. We put them in the body bags. We went further, and we told this is the most horrific. Now you have to think, when we see this, we see such a thing, and we come home, we have children the same age, and we just want to hug our children. The flash we get is those kids run away. You can't even hug them. And it's not only me. Most of our volunteers, that's what happens. They can't come home. They can't look at the children. They can't hug the children. Or when you go to the next house, 426-2, you just come into the house, you see 3 knives, butcher knives. Now you see blood. And you go in, you see pregnant woman that her stomach was just butchered open, and the infant stabbed in the And we started debating, did the mother see that? And then we started a debate with our volunteers. Should we use one body bag? Should we use two body bags? We had to make a vote. Just imagine yourself, 55 years old, father of children, grandfather, my children pregnant, all these people there. How could they come home? We had to make a vote. The decision was, you're going to use one body bag. Afterwards, I heard from the people that received the body that was the correct decision. Our volunteers, they're angels. I look at them, and it's very hard for me to look in their eyes. And when I ask them, what gives you the support? How do you do it? How do you go further? They all say one thing. Everybody, we heard it from the support that we get from our nation. This makes us go. This gives us the courage because we know we're only a shaliach, we're only a messenger. We're not doing the messenger for the whole entire Jewish nation. And not only Jewish nation, we do it for the whole world. Because when we came, after we finished to take all our holy brothers and sisters, and I would say political, they were not my type, and religious, they were not my type, anything, doesn't matter. We felt this is our brothers and we'll fight for them. And then what will come when we finish, and the army comes to us, and the officials, the government comes to us and tells us, listen, now you have a new mission, you have to go home, and you have to wrap up the terrorists. We have to handle the terrorists, we have to put them in body bags, we have to write down exactly where we took them. They have the reasons. They need it for exchanging or something like that, or tell you, in the beginning, it was very hard for us. We said, let's bring in from Gaza, and they'll do it. We're just watching them. They'll pick them up, and they'll do it, or bring a tractor. When we did that, and we saw what they had in their pockets, the maps, and the instructions, what it was supposed to do. They were supposed to come and invade Ashkelon, Ashdod. The only thing they were blocked by the festival. That was a surprise for them, and they had to be by the festival. Therefore, they killed 300, but they didn't kill thousands and thousands. Those people are holy, holy people. They saved thousands of people. And when we finished take those terrorists, unfortunately, we found 21 of our civilians here with them. Why? Because they did it special. That was the technique that they did. In order, they had the green bands and the white tags, they just put it on victims. And like this, we thought they're part of terrorists. And that was a relief for us that we did this part of it. If not, it will be over there for the birds, for the animals to eat them. And we, because of our decision to do it, we saved 21 families of horror. And we managed to get it to cover Israel. The danger that we were, now I'll give you a small story. We went to Kfar Aza. It was a house. Family is cut. 5 people, parents and 3 children. They were in the shelter room. They were all shot while they were hugging each other. They were all shot and killed. We wanted to go into that shelter. And one of our volunteers went through the window. The door was closed, so we said we're going to open it. But he went to the window first. And the last second, screamed, "Don't open!" Grenade. They put a grenade, live grenade on the door. So when we opened that door, it should explode on us. So we had, and they did it while they were killing them. They went out from the window, and they're putting it from inside. And this saved us our life. This is danger going. We all had it, and thank God none of our members were injured physically, but they were injured mentally. And this is what we're doing right now. We are still there. Our volunteers are there every day, sifting through ashes in order to get to identification of missing people. Last week, we found bones that came to a 10-year-old girl, 7-year-old girl, and another 19-year-old that were identified because of the job of our volunteers. When we go back, that's the hardest job, then we go back and see everybody has looks what happened, so we have to maneuver. This team doesn't go into the same place where he worked in the beginning. And yes, we need your support. We need your support for helping our volunteers to raise the family, to be a father, and to get them back on the feet. This is our mission right now, because it's not only our volunteers, we're talking about 1,000 volunteers, it's the families around. My uncle received a phone call from a volunteer. Doesn't have anything. He didn't go to work, was laid out of his job. He doesn't have it. If he borrowed money and to support him, gave his credit card, they got $1,000. 8 o'clock in the morning, Friday, I was in New York. I received a phone call, was in Israel, was almost Shabbat, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. A guy that knows me, he's not a volunteer, but he has a neighbor volunteer. He calls me, you know what's going on by icing, but you're a volunteer. He has 4 children, he doesn't have anything in his house. That's what we had to arrange. I arranged, called up the grocery, you send them home everything, we'll pay you. That's what we have to, if it's a daily basis. And we know we have to go further. We're not finished. God forbid, we don't know what's gonna be. We have the north, everybody knows that it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of time when the war starts from the north. Hezbollah is even dangerous, more dangerous than Hamas. And we will have to be there if, hopefully, with your prayers, with your, I'm sure, God will listen to you, because you do it from the bottom of your heart. We don't have time for that. You doing the job for us. We shouldn't have to be there again. I want to thank you. If you have any questions, my uncle, me, we can answer you. And I could say one thing more. Zaka has another definition. Ze kiruv achim. We bring our brothers together. This is our organization. We have everybody, from people, Christians, Muslims, Arabs, Druze. Everybody is in our organization, and we respect everybody, and we're gonna respect everybody. And yes, this is our mission, to respect and to be united. Thank you very much.
Be seated. Yossi will we'll take a few questions. Any questions? Yeah.
Why would somebody fire or dismiss an employee who volunteers for your organization, knowing what Israel's doing?
I'm not sure he was dismissed or fired, but for sure,
Came back to no job.
right, this month he didn't have a job.
How does that make sense in a country that's so small and that needs every person to take every responsibility and every job that becomes unfortunately their issue?
Some of those volunteers are self-employed. And when it's self-employed, and I'll give you an example. The volunteer that called my uncle, he's a self-employed, he's doing trips. He has a van, tour, he's a tour guide. He has no job. There's no touring in Israel right now, and especially by the war when he came to help people. He's out of a job, he lives from everyday working, and he has nothing right now.
I may add to what he answered. Good evening, everybody. Sorry. The economy in Israel is not the best now. Okay, it affects everybody. I understand the emotional feelings of it. But unfortunately, a lot of businesses are losing money. So we can't really blame them they can't afford to pay an employee. So it's a lose-lose situation for everybody, unfortunately.
Anyone else?
Is Zaka a completely volunteer organization, or is the government picking any support, or?
Yes, it's a completely volunteer organization. There's only 7 people in this organization that's on the paycheck, the salary. 1,500 is volunteers, and we have ambulances, we have divers unit, K9 unit, international unit, and search and rescue. And we get, our budget is about, I would say, $12 million a year. And we received for year 2021, we received $1.2 million we received from the government. That was exactly 2 months ago. Right before the holidays, that's what we received. That was for year 2021. And you ask why? Unfortunately, because the government in Israel is being changed recently in the last couple of years. So every time when you start to do something to talk, while you finish the sentence, there's a different government. Unfortunately. So you have to start again. And when you start again, starts to ask the questions and give everything. So we have no choice but to go out and ask for help.
What happens with all the blood?
All the blood, everything was cleaned out. Everything, all the houses. And it's a very good question because I'll tell you why. There's two, when I went in Karaza last week Sunday, and I met my people cleaning, and I came into one of the houses and I saw he's crying. He's cleaning the blood, he's crying. I asked him, why are you crying? He told me, why are we doing this? So what do you mean? Because we have to, ki hadam wa nefesh. That's what we have to do. That's the first mission. But we want to respect, so when the family comes back home, they will see everything. So he's crying because there's no one to come home and to see the entire family is what this entire family is wiped out. He doesn't have, nobody's coming back, so why are you doing it?
One of the ways also to afford kavod hames, right, to give respect and dignity, is the person will be buried with everything, right, with blood, with whatever, body parts.
They're not getting buried with the blood because they were buried already, and we did it afterwards. So it goes into one.
Right.
Yeah, it's being buried. It gets a respect. We do everything that they want to respect. Everybody, every house gets his bag with all the. We have to do it. If it's a mattress, then we have to cover the mattress. Everything that has blood, we will do that. We're gonna scrape the roof. We're gonna do everything in order to get it into, and we know that this belongs to this person and it's being buried.
Arnie, last question.
Your message is so powerful. Thank you for sharing this.
Louder.
Have you been able to get this message into mainstream media? I think I've seen your message on the internet, but I don't think that I've seen it on the mainstream media. I just wanted to know if you had that opportunity. It's such a powerful message.
Yes, I had a lot of interviews, and I told them I would say the only was BBC that they tried to attack me. That's the only one, but all the other ones.
Someone should attack them.
That's the BBC. But I would say 99% of the interviewers and everybody were so touched, and especially when they came, they met me, and I showed them some images that I can't give out. You're not allowed to do that. And this is also the reason that people are asking, we don't believe beheaded babies and everything, we don't, because we respect, this is a part of our respect. We're different, we show that we're different. They will show it from their cameras. Yes, they'll put it out because they're murderers, they're terrorists. We have to respect. But when I show them, and the same thing when I met with Bibi Netanyahu and Anthony Blinken, and I showed them, I would say, I don't know if it was my images or something like that that gave the green light to go in, but they were very touched. And Anthony Blinken had an interview saying that he saw what he saw for me. And the people that you don't have to, people that denying it, they will be denied. They forget it. You can't change their mind because they will deny it. They want to see only, you can show them everything. They want to see only Hamas in this. They're pro-Hamas. They, they're a part of them. But when BBC, let's say, they ask me about the beheaded babies and raping, I saw them and I saw it, and we all know what happened. But I told them, what are you looking for? A crime war crime? Are you looking for that? Just take a look at that convention, whatever, the war crime. And if you shoot somebody in the back while he wasn't armed, is that a war crime? Go look at the bodies. Go look at the bodies. 80% are shot in the back. You don't need anything else. Or we go in Kfar Aza, 2 piles of children from age 13 to 18. They were piled, 2 piles of 10, hands tied to the back. They weren't shot, they were burned alive. That's a war crime. So why do you need it? What are you looking for? You want to destroy the families? We should show you how their baby was beheaded. That's what you want?
So, Yossi and Yanki and Chani, they asked that we please watch the video, which we're ready to prime. And then we'll sing a few songs. Tefillah, thinking about your team. Keep the lights closed, please. One more song. Tov lahodos la'Hashem. It's good to thank Hashem, even in these times, even in these moments, to know that there are people who are such ma'aminin, and they can understand and believe that there's a mission that they're doing, and they're literally partners with Hashem. Lahagi baboker chasdecha ve'amunascha baleilos, and even in this darkness, to know that the light of the Chevra of Zaka, of your teams that represent every aspect of Am Yisrael, of Klal Yisrael, that gives us hope.
I will add to the rabbi. We have to thank that we are different. That we are a different nation. And that we are a supporting nation. That's what we have to thank. Laudos Hashem.
Thank you so much. I'm going to just to make an announcement from the shul, from our Israel Emergency Fund. Yes.
This police officer, can you thank him? I was about to thank him.
Officer Wallach, thank you. As I was saying, we're going to increase our allocation from our Israel Emergency Fund, the Sarah Ackerman Memorial Fund, to $18,000 over and above the $60,000 we already have. everyone to do the same. If you want to give it through us, we'll take care of it. If you want to give it straight to Zaka, you can speak to Chani, or there's a QR code on the invitation. I want to thank Beverly Rosenbaum, who actually made this setup. And I think at this point, if everyone could please rise for Kelmal Racham in memory. The Kedoshim. And let's specifically, particularly have in mind, obviously, everyone. But I think we learned something today. At least I didn't know that idea that those kids at the festival, that they say they were korbanos, mamish korbanos. And by the way, I'm gonna contradict you in one way. I said worse than the Holocaust, but I think the major issue in the Holocaust, the difference is when I bury a Holocaust survivor and they lost someone, I say we're burying them along with I just buried Jack Miles' mother a few days ago, 100 years old. She lost 3 of her siblings as children. And I said we're burying her along with them who weren't Zochet Puras Yisrael. When during the Holocaust, we didn't have these heroes. And we're able to provide for Puras Yisrael. Coach Baruch should bless you. You and your families, your children, your grandchildren, great-grandchildren. El Malay Rachamim, Meshachim Bamromim, Hamitzeh, Al Kanfei Ashchina, B'malos, Kedoshim Utilrim, Kezohar Rakia Masmirim, Es Nishmas Acheinu B'nei Yisrael, HaKedoshim Yatelrim, Shumasu V'shenergo V'shenishchato V'shenisripu V'shenidbio V'shenechniku Al Kiddush Hashem HaMyaretz Al Yidei HaTerroristim Yimach Shemam B'zichram Bavur Shebli Neder Teis Zaka B'Yarav Skaras Nishmoseyeh U'Mispalalim Lezichron Nishmosam B'Ganei Eden Teilin U'Chasam L'chein Bal Rachamim Yastirei B'Seisek Knafav L'Yaylamim Mitzror Chavis Nishmoseyeh Adonai Nachalaso Yanuch V'Shalom HaMishkevoseyeh V'Nomar Amen. Thank you, Zaka. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and a good Shabbos. We should soon see Shalom Al Yisrael. Thank you to Morning Weinstein.